Hey Joe, it's Folks here. If you have ever wondered why some people starting print on demand never actually make sales, but some do, then this video is for you. Personally, I have been selling print on demand items on my own stores since 2016. This is also something I've helped a lot of other people to do. At this point, people that have gone through my trainings have made over $6 million in sales on their own stores. These are mugs that I send to people when they hit different sales milestones. And in today's video, like I said, we're going to break down why some people do well and some people don't with their print-on-demand stores. If you're just getting started and you need help, I do have a free print-on-demand course. It is called POD for Dummies, and there is a link down in the description. And the way that we're going to do this is I'm going to show you 3 different types of print-on-demand stores, and I'll explain why all of them are likely destined to fail. I'm personally not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to help by sharing some of the things that I have seen people struggle with. All of these stores that I'm going to share with you are stores that were shared inside of the POD Ninjas Facebook group. This is my print-on-demand community. We now have over 100,000 members. There's a link down in the description if you'd like to join. This here is our first store. It is called poshpoverty.com. I am basically just going to scroll through this homepage here and basically just let you guys see a little bit of what they are doing. As you can see, they have dozens of different product types, everything from all sorts of different apparel and shirts and hoodies and sweatshirts and even some watches as well. They also have some drinkware items here as well. And what they've basically done is come up with a name for their store and a logo, and they've put it all over a bunch of different products on their store. They're essentially trying to create a brand behind their logo, which is exactly the same thing that companies like Nike or Adidas or even places like Gucci or Louis Vuitton try to do as well. When you're building a print-on-demand store, the first thing that you should do is not create a brand name with a logo and then just put it on a bunch of different products. The reason is because if you are making your own store and you're selling products on social media, you are marketing products to strangers. It is likely going to take multiple years before anybody even cares about your logo. You need to first create a brand and create a movement through content. And most people that are getting into print on demand and doing stuff like this here want to market products to strangers. What I mean by that is they want to sell to people through social media ads on Facebook and on Instagram and have them buy their products the first time they see their items. The fact is that this store here, if it was to be marketed to strangers that don't know what Posh Poverty is, they likely won't make any sales. This here is the second store that we are going to look at. You can see that as we scroll through the homepage of the store, it is basically just a whole bunch of random quotes that don't really pertain to a specific niche, just thrown on various different types of products. The same thing is true with this print-on-demand store here. It is called fierceandfabulousdesigns.com. Again, they have basically just done some random things that don't really relate to a specific niche, and they've thrown them on lots of different products. The problem with both of these stores is, again, if you are marketing to strangers, there is nothing here that is going to get a stranger interested in buying something. Same thing here. Again, when it comes to marketing a product to a stranger, the thing that gets somebody interested is the niche that your design is made for. Simply writing "you are enough" or "brave, humble, loyal, and strong" on a piece of apparel is not a specific niche. Again, the key here that I'm trying to get you to understand is that when you are marketing products on social media, building your own store like these people are, one of the most important parts is your ability to get a stranger interested in buying your stuff. If you are doing stuff like this here where there is no specific niche that you're making designs for, you are likely going to struggle with that. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you do need help getting into any of this inside of my POD for Dummies course, like I said, it's completely free. There's a link down in the description. I have some videos in there to help you to plan things out and find a great niche for your store. Right here is our third type of store. This is a store that is likely created someone who maybe used to sell on Etsy and now they've come over to Shopify, so they've just sort of published all of their designs onto the homepage. We also see something similar with this store here. This is a different store, but they're doing basically the same thing. They have all of their designs for lots of different niches just kind of thrown all around the homepage here. This is something I see a lot where someone starts on Etsy, they come to Shopify, but they use the same strategy. They basically sell to many different niches all on the same store, and in some cases they add lots of random products as well. What ends up happening is they end up with something like this that honestly ends up looking pretty generic. This this is quite literally the types of things that I see people create after making a post in my print on demand Facebook group about running their store for 30 or 60 or 90 days and not making any sales at all. The truth is that this store right here is not a store. This is simply a website with 9 designs on it. This is not a brand that someone has actually built. This is basically just taking some very typical designs and throwing them on many different products using the same mock-up over and over again and trying to call it a store. When you're building your print-on-demand store, the key is to actually build out a full store with a home page and potentially with about pages and product pages as well, and to tie the whole thing together with branding elements. So to recap, we first started with this store here where they don't really have a niche, but they've kind of just made a logo and thrown it on many different products. We also have this store here, which doesn't really have a specific niche at all when it comes to the designs that are being made. It's basically just a bunch of random stuff thrown on many different products, all on the same store. And then we have this type of store here where, yes, there are some niches, like people that are a nurse for a job or someone who really likes coffee, for example. All 3 of these stores are examples of things that I have seen people do and fail. The fact is that if you are getting into print on demand, you need to make sure that your store does something specific well. That something specific is either going to be your niche or it's going to be a specific product. This is a subject I have gone over and over and over about here on my channel, but it is the key to unlocking success with your Shopify print on demand store. This here is an example of a store that is doing something specific well, but it is not actually a niche. It is a product. This store here sells print on demand metal signs. Of course, you could do this with any print on demand product, not just metal signs. Technically, you could make a store where you specialize in selling phone cases or print on demand leggings or posters and canvases for the wall, or even print on demand shoes, and then make designs for many different niches. That's exactly what this store has done. They have branded themselves behind this product. They're doing something specific well, and their overall brand has a purpose. The same thing is true with this print-on-demand store here. It is called PFX Outdoors. Now, this store is geared more towards a specific niche, fishing. Obviously, you could do that for many different niches and build out a niche store for it. What I'm trying to say to you is that when you're starting print-on-demand, you need to do something specific well. The number one reason why people fail with their print-on-demand store is because the concept for their store does not make any sense, or it is something that is not going to do well when you're marketing it to strangers on social media. Again, this store here doesn't do anything specific well. It is a brand name that someone made up. They made some logos and they put it on a bunch of different t-shirts and hoodies. There is no reason for a stranger to immediately want to wear a Posh Poverty shirt because they have not heard of it before. This store here is a bunch of random niches thrown together. This is not a great way to build credibility, and it's likely going to leave the store owner feeling quite disorganized and maybe like they need to condense their product line a little bit. And lastly, we had this store here where, again, it's not really a store. They've just taken a bunch of different designs on several different products as well and just thrown them all over the homepage. The point of me making this video was not to discourage any of these store owners. Like I said, I grabbed these stores from inside of the POD Ninjas Facebook group, and if you're watching this video and these happen to be one of your stores, my hope is that you will have an open mind to some of the advice. Obviously, I'm not trying to act like my way is the only way or that I know everything there is to know about print on demand. I am simply trying to help. At this point, I have done over 1,000 Zoom calls with people, helping them with their stores. At this point, people who have gone through my trainings have made over $6 million in sales on their own stores. And what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I may not know everything, but I do have some experience in the 3 types of stores that I went through today typically lead to failure. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below and what type of store you actually have. Are you catering to a specific niche or are you catering to a specific product? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.